The fastest minute in tennis. Iga Swiatek would get a violation before the match even started, but it wouldn't matter. As always, this video is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Act. Emma Raducanu at the net waiting. That's right. Well, Iga Swiatek took her sweet time. Well, the first service game and the second service game might have been the longest because this match was over in a jiffy. How about a breadstick and a bagel? Iga Swiatek in complete dominance, guys. She won 83% of her first serves. How about 80% of Emma's second serves? Emma had 4 double faults, and Iga Swiatek 5 for 12 on breakpoint opportunities. Emma looking for the next tournament, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the grip. Look at the grip. Iga Swiatek advances. What about the courts? A lot of people are saying these are the worst Australian Open courts ever, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard several players say these courts are playing like clay courts. Can you believe that? These are not hard courts. What about Medvedev a couple of years ago at the Indian Wells? These are not hard courts. I don't know what this is. A lot of players complaining about the conditions here. Personally, I can see the play in the players. I've been talking about the play in the players. These players look horrible. They're not used to hard courts playing like this. What about Ons, ladies and gentlemen? Ons, the best shot maker in the world. But right now, she was not feeling well. That's right. She's been ill, sick all this tournament. I feel for Ons because this was a match here where she was down 4-love in the first set. Then she got things going, right? She started to find her mojo, styling and profile, and she would win the second set after coming back and making the first set very competitive. And the third set, it really looked like Emma Navarro, and Coco verified this, not little Coco, big Coco, ladies and gentlemen. She's calling the matches now. Listen, she verified exactly what I saw. Emma Raducanu was literally trying her best to keep up with Ons. And this is what wins tennis matches on the main tour. Mental toughness, mental focus, and just not giving up. Continue to get balls back, continue to push, continue to fight. And that's how Emma Raducanu won this match. She was clearly outmatched in terms of shot variety and shot making ability against Ons. Everyone saw it. Ons had Emma on the back foot all this match, but the third set, Ons got really fatigued. She's sick. It's clear. It's evident. And she just beat herself with the mistakes in the third set. That's really what it came down to. Yulia Putintseva smashing her racket, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see this match? Now, listen, Yulia had a fit. She went on a rant, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I talked about how I feel Sabalenka's resorting back to the old Sabalenka, getting frustrated, getting very angry. Yulia Putintseva just snapped in this match. If you didn't see the match, guys, she went over to her coach. And I guess this is why you pay your coaches the big bucks for the opportunity to make a combined $900,000. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, making it into the round of 16. A lot of money on the line, ladies and gentlemen. She yelled at her coach, say something, do something. You're just sitting there. She would complain that Dasha was opening the court, just stretching the court too wide. And that's not Yulia's game. She literally wants to hit her drop shots. And after a few shots, she wants to set up the short ball. She's a magician. She's very skilled. She's very tactical. But Dasha would win this in straight sets and dishing out a breadstick in the second set. Now, listen, I think this is my personal opinion. This is a part of the video where I give my criticism. That's the heaviest I've ever seen Dasha look. Yes, it's early in the season, but round of 16 in a slam, I don't know if this is going to be one of those seasons. But, you never know because we talk about Elena Rybakina and Iga complaining about the schedule being too long. Well, Dasha complains about not being able to play enough 250. So I don't know what it is with Dasha. I think she's going to be right around the round of 16 in any of the big tournaments. But whether or not she makes the final or the semifinal, it's going to depend on her serve. And in this match, ladies and gentlemen, 7 double faults, it's not going to get it. They always show up at the worst time. Eva Lys, that's right, another recipient of nearly $1 million. She's made a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, she got those qualifiers checks. That's right, guys. You get paid some pretty good money in qualifiers. I know it's at least like $20,000 in the first round. And here she is in the round of 16. Anna Kasatkina, I'll tell you guys, someone's misfortune could be your blessing. She is here, and we heard Kimberly Burrell just she was upset. She was very upset, very teary-eyed that she was eliminated from the home crowd. She didn't want to play Eva Lys. She game planned for Anna Kasatkina. You would think Eva Lys would be the easier matchup, but no, ladies and gentlemen. She's a defensive powerhouse. She gets balls back. And Jacqueline actually won the first set as the underdog. I had her winning the first set. But what did I tell you? I think I told you guys to take Eva Lys to win this match. And actually, 80% so far in free picks this past round. I think we got nearly most of them right, maybe one or two wrong, but a pretty good round nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, check this out. My last 25 picks, I've won 24 of them. Pretty darn good, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Eva Lys would come back and win the second set 6-3, the third set 6-3, and she did it, guys. 4 double faults from Jacqueline, 74% of her first serves from Eva Lys. She was very consistent. She would win 50% of Jacqueline's second serves, and yes, guys, another break fest, ladies and gentlemen. 14 opportunities for Eva Lys. She would convert on 5 of them. That would be enough to get the victory. Now, Elena Rybakina, the giant from Kazakhstan, taking on Diana Yastremska. Elena would leave early in the match, guys, up 2-1. She would take a very long medical timeout, about 8 minutes. She would have to leave the court. Now, I'm watching Elena Rybakina's game. Of course, I told you she would win this match. She did, but watch out next round. She's going to take on Maddie Patty. Eva Lys is going to take on Iga. Matter of fact, I got Eva Lys defeating Iga Swiatek, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Elena Rybakina, only 2 aces in this match. She had 0 in the first set. I think with the new coaching, I think they're going easy on the serve. That's just my personal opinion. I think they're trying to focus on the longevity of Elena Rybakina. And she's doing a lot more situational serving, a lot more serve placement instead of just blasting aces down the tee. Very interesting, guys. Jasmine Paolini, a.k.a. Ciao Bella, a.k.a. Little Italy. One of my favorite players on tour. Whenever I tell you someone's going to break out, someone you should watch out for, it always happens, guys, doesn't it? That's right. That's a Jordan fist pump as Jasmine Paolini, ladies and gentlemen. She would actually end up taking the first set over Svitolina, but then things got very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Svitolina would pull out the stops. The defensive powerhouse. I've been telling you for a long time. She gets balls back. She's a good shot maker. Good shot maker between the line. She's worked on her strength. I think since getting with Gail. And we've seen this a lot on the tour, right? A lot of the WTA players that have mates that play on the ATP, we've seen their games develop, especially in terms of the strength department, right? What better person to spend your life with than someone that has the same passion and love of sport? Look at Gail. Bonjour, comment allez-vous, ladies and gentlemen. Gail in the building. He would motivate Svitolina. And Svitolina, after her interviews, she normally says, "Where's my husband? Where's Gail?" She really gets motivated when he comes to watch her play. And this was a very competitive match, guys. Svitolina would come back, and look, she's a great shot maker. She would end up winning 83% of her first serves. And I told you, I love Jasmine, but Svitolina is just going to be a much better shot maker between the lines. Sure enough, she was. 11 breakpoint opportunities. She would convert them, 6 of them. 34 winners to 20, guys. And Svitolina even won the net points. Unbelievable. She played good. Mentioning Gail, the huge underdog. How about a 5-1 underdog against Taylor Fritz? I had Gail winning this match outright, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those matchups stylistically. And look, a lot of the ATP experts, analysts have said, how long do you think Gail can continue to play, right? One of the oldest guy to win a main tour title, right, in New Zealand last week. Congratulations, Gail. I've heard several people say he could play another 5 years. Personally, I think he could play another 5 years, at least being a top 50 player. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, ask Casper. Casper said Gail has the best footwork on tour. He's the most athletic on tour. He moves the best on tour. At his age, I still think he's one of the best movers on tour. And listen, this is just one of those matchups where Taylor Fritz just doesn't match up well with Gail, and that's how you have an upset. Styles make fights, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Mel taking on Maddie Patty. Danielle Collins is getting a lot of heat, guys. I did the video. Do you think she's classy or trashy? Look, I don't think Danielle's trashy. I think she's just being who she is. She gets called Karen all the time online. People don't like Danielle. I like Danielle because she's authentic. She's real. She's being herself. Anytime you're being yourself, I can respect that. She didn't grow up rich. She grew up blue collar. She had to go get it in the mud. She went to college. She's a two-time NCAA champion. I like Danielle Collins. She speaks up for Coco. She's Coco's big sister. She stands up for the greatest future player that's going to be a Hall of Famer, the future best #1 player this year. That's going to be Coco Gauff, guys. And I don't know what I'm saying right now, but Danielle Collins against Madison Keys. This was a pretty good match, guys. The first set was pretty solid. But Madison Keys, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this time I get it. As you get older, especially when you turn that 30 mark, upper 20s for a WTA player, the only thing that's going to keep you relevant is your power, right? Because as you get older, Father Time is undefeated. Your athletic ability is going to slow down. Madison Keys' power continues to follow her, and it's not going to go anywhere, right? We even seen that. I don't know where Kaya Kanepi is, but even at her age, right, she's still powerful. Now, did she call it quits? She's had so many injuries. At least before the ladies retire, I would love to see them have a farewell tour, right? Just like Danielle Collins. But she's back, ladies and gentlemen. And I told you she would be back, guys. I told you I'm always right. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup here where Madison, she could just stretch the court just wide. Danielle's not going to be able to cover that. Danielle wants to get to her backhand. That's her bread and butter. That forehand, 90% of her first serves in play for Madison Keys. She won 73% of them. Madison Keys in the first set won 100% of her second serves. Guys, whatever she didn't get on the first, she got on the second. She takes this in straight sets, and I think the Australian fans, they really gave Danielle a hard time. I think that kind of motivated Madison Keys. Madison Keys is going to take on Elena Rybakina next. I have Madison Keys winning that match. I just think Madison Keys, she's a healthier player. I think she's moving better, and I think her forehand is going to cause a lot of problems for Elena Rybakina. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to, do you want to take a look at the stats? Well, I just told you the stats, but nonetheless, guys, the first set statistics, Madison Keys, she won 100% of her second serves, dominated the first serves. And what about Veronica Kudermetova, big sister, taking on Beatrice Haddad? Now, Beatrice Haddad, guys, was the favorite in this match. I told you Veronica's going to win this match. She's just a better tennis player overall. And she showed, guys. She won 70% of her first serves to 52% from Beatrice. 80% of Beatrice's second serves for most of the first set. She would end up getting the job done. She took the first set, never looked back. 28 winners to 12. Veronica stepping up, being very aggressive. And I told you guys, Beatrice is left-handed, but Veronica is one of the few players on tour that can beat you with the left or the right. She's multi-talented. She moves very well. And I say it all the time. When you see this pose right here, just run the other way because Veronica means business. I was a little scared and worried early on. I thought she was going through a lot. Her game has dropped, but to see her younger sister step up on tour, it has to be a motivating factor for her. I think she's back. I'm very happy. Veronica is great. She's one of the nicest players on tour you'll ever meet. And she's a solid player. So congratulations to Veronica Kudermetova. We're going to take a quick look here at the round of 16, guys. We have Svitolina. She's going to have a tough matchup coming up. What do I think? Do I think she can advance? Listen, here's the thing with Svitolina. She plays very good defense. She's very skilled. She's a veteran player. And I think any match she plays, she's going to be in it. I mean, we saw, if we go back last year, those epic battles with Iga Swiatek, Wimbledon, right? Where she defeated, and a lot of people thought that Iga threw that match. Iga's not in the business of throwing matches, guys. You know what I mean? And none of these players at this level, you know, are doing stuff like that. I think it's crazy to think. Svitolina straight up beat Iga Swiatek. She beat her outright, you know? And to even think that because Iga was supporting Ukraine, I think that's wacky stuff. Some of the stuff that goes on in these comments are pretty crazy. But again, Svitolina, she's going to have a match against Kudermetova. And that's a matchup where I do think overall between the lines, Svitolina is going to be the better shot maker. However, this is going to be the X factor. Veronica can get Svitolina to step up inside the baseline. I think she's going to have the advantage for down the line winners and passing shots. Without a doubt, Veronica moves a lot better than Svitolina, and I think she's going to have the power advantage. But that's a matchup there that I think Svitolina is going to outpoint Kudermetova, especially with a victory like that over Paolini. That's going to be a big confidence booster. Eva Lys, Iga Swiatek. Eva Lys, she's beat some hard hitters so far, right? She's played a lot of tennis. She's a defensive player, and I broke down how you can win points off of Iga Swiatek, right? I've been breaking the same thing down for the last few years, and it holds true. If you take a look at the matches she loses, it's players that takes her in the deep rallies. This is a matchup that Eva Lys, if she can get balls back, like I told you, as the rally starts to progress, Iga Swiatek's movement slows down. She's very aggressive in the first 5-6 shots. She's trying to overpower you. She's setting up her pattern. But once 6, 7, 8, 9 shots deep in that rally starts to happen, the top spin, the RPM starts to fade. Her movement starts to fade. And we see this with the recent matchup with Coco, where she's so tired. Because Coco's going these extended rallies. Coco realized, look, just get balls back with Iga Swiatek. Just get balls back and continue to make her work. She gets tired. She gets fatigued. She's not a long rally player. Eva Lys is going to have the stamina advantage. I'm going to take Eva Lys to win a set off of Iga Swiatek, and I think that's going to be an upset outright. Dasha, Emma Navarro. That's going to be a good match. Now, here's the thing. I talked about Dasha. I think she's the heaviest I've seen. Emma Raducanu, I'm sorry, guys. Emma Navarro just played Ons, the best shot maker in the world. She was able to get through that test. I think Dasha's luck runs out. That horrible serving is not going to work against Emma Navarro. I thought Emma should have been eliminated, but I'll take Emma Navarro to beat Dasha. That's the pick there. Who else we got? Rybakina Keys. I think Madison Keys, I said this a little bit earlier, I think her forehand is going to be too much. I don't think Rybakina's healthy. I think Rybakina's tournament ends there. Madison Keys to defeat Rybakina. Coco Gauff, Belinda Bencic. I'm going to do a video on that later, guys. Stay tuned for Coco. If you want Coco, you got to wait. Paula Badosa, Olga Danlovic. Olga's playing good. She's a clay player. These courts are playing like clay courts. Everyone's saying it. These courts favor Iga Swiatek, guys. I think they made this court to really favor the players that play better on clay. The players that aren't as great on these fast. These Australian courts, they normally play fast. When you have top tier players like Pegula saying these courts are horrible, they move slow. You have male players saying it too. So many tennis players are saying these courts are playing like clay courts. Who does that favor? It favors the best clay players. Now, listen, guys. Olga's a good clay player, but I'm going to take Paula Badosa is too. I'm going to take Badosa to finally send home Olga. Look, Olga, you made nearly $1 million. Congratulations. That's going to change her life. The same with Eva Lys. Their lives are changed. Congratulations, ladies. Dana Vekic, Anastasia Balyuchenkova. This is a match where Dana Vekic, if she can recover, I think she'll be fine. But she's older, guys. You go a long, grueling match like that against a young Diana Snyder, you're going to be sore and banged up. But nonetheless, it's a slam. They got the best physical treatment. They have the best food, nutrients, resources. Everything's paid for. Coaches are living the luxury life. All the coaches' expenses are paid for here. There's a lot of money coming through these gates. I would love to pick Dana Vekic to win this match, but I think she's going to be fatigued. So I'm going to go with Anastasia Paolini to upset Dana Vekic. And Sabalenka, Mira Andreeva, I'm going to go with another upset here. I'm going to take Mira Andreeva to defeat Sabalenka. I think Sabalenka's not moving well on these courts. Sabalenka's like, what's going on with these courts? She's a two-time slam champion here. These courts have never played this slow. These courts look horrible. I'm going to take Mira Andreeva to defeat Sabalenka. That's the pick, guys. Enjoy. Fastest minute in tennis. Like the video. Hit the super thanks. Thanks for the love and support. We'll be right back.